Welcome, everybody. We are back. It's 4th of July, and Underdog released two new contests. We got the Chihuahua, I believe it's pronounced the Dachshund, not what it reads like to me, but maybe I'm wrong. We will go through what they are. The Dachshund is 2 of 12, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, with the 156 seat final. It's already 8% filled. It opened like 4 hours ago. It's a 4 entry max. So for $32, you could do max entries, 28,000 entrants. So there'll be a lot of people. Like this will probably be open for a while, honestly. Because a lot, like I'm assuming that 8%, most of the people that have done it have done more than one. And then first prize is 30 grand, second 20 grand. So if you get to the finals, it's a 156 seat final. You get 300 back. A little, like that's 9 times your money. And it's that's awesome, crew. You own a Dachshund and Chihuahua mix. Today is a good day. Maybe this is where you get a shipper. And welcome, Nick. Welcome, Peppertoni. Welcome, Scott and crew as well. Yeah, so you basically get 9 times your money back if you get one to the finals in this. And first prize is 30 grand for a $32 max entry. And then the Chihuahua is what it always is. It's a 25 entry max, $4 entry. I'm not sure if the advancement's the same, but it's always $100 to max with 25 entries, $4 each. And it is also 8% filled. 2 of 12, 1 of 9, 1 of 6, 217 seat final. Same thing, 30,000, 20,000, 10,352. 70,000 entrants. On this one, if you get to the finals, you get your money back. And then it's, I believe it's a little more top weighted there. 16 to 20th is 1,000. And on this one, okay, so it looks like the payout is pretty similar at the top end. But anyway, $10,352 is it? Yeah, it really is. Well, like last year, I think it was BBM. It was like sixth place was like something $401. Like they just threw the extra few dollars they had at that one. Definitely prefer the Chihuahua because I'm not a fan of the contests that don't pay you back for making the. Okay, so that's where the extra money comes, huh? So you have to get to the semifinals to get. Got it. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't look at that, but yeah, you have to get to the semifinals, and then you're still $8 short. So you have to win a semifinals, which is a 1 of 6 to get to money. That's how they kept the payment structure. I was wondering because this is 28,000 and double the entry, and the other one is 70,000. That makes a lot of sense because this one's 70,000. But yeah. I will definitely max it, but we're gonna do Chihuahua, and we'll do a second draft almost assuredly. I'd like to get to, I don't know, like 18 likes for that. That should be pretty doable. And for a third draft, we'll do 32 likes. We have been getting there pretty easily. Might end up doing a third one anyway, but most likely we're at least putting the goal out there. So I am about to enter a Chihuahua, the 20 seconds, and I'll be entering in 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, but like it's still $32 for the 4 entrants at a chance at 30 grand. But yeah, the Chihuahua I definitely do prefer. What's up, Mike Rob and Bindles? Welcome. We instantly filled, and we got the 4 spot. Steve got the 12 spot. Nick has the 5 spot. If you are MJ45, that's somebody that's somebody here. Chihuahua has worst playoff event rate. Yeah, because it's a 1 of 9 instead of a 1 of 5. And Jay Lives is at the 9 again. Like, I know that's J Live R007, but I read that as liver every time. There we go. I knew that was, you hadn't chatted yet. I couldn't remember the name, but whenever I seen Mike Groff, I was like, oh, yeah, that's MJ45. I'm assuming we went over this, but is that a Washington Wizards thing there? MJ45? You got 1.12 in the overflow. Love the edges. Nice. The 1.12 is pretty nice. So yesterday we did a drafters draft. I don't know if you guys have been over there since, but Brian Thomas Jr. is falling to like the middle. He's falling to like 16, 17, 18 over and over again. And so is Genty's starting to fall too. I got a Puka Genty team over there in that $3 lobby. Feels pretty good. MJ's your son's name, and 45 is MJ favorite number 45. Got it. We will take Bijan all day here. All day. Bijan all day. In full PPR, I do think that Gibbs is pretty close, like very close. What's up, Carlsby? Gonna max the new contest, but I'm waiting for the slow and fast puppies. I'll probably do like 25 slow puppies, but I will definitely I'll probably do, I don't know. We'll see how many I'm allowed to do. That's kind of what it's going to be, is how many will my budget allow me to do? Who don't snipe me? I don't try to snipe people. I mean, Bijan is my 101 or my 102, so I don't know. I take Justin Jefferson at 2. Bijan's my 103. Saquon is my 107 now. That is what it is. I do think we'll get one. I'm not sure when, though. Just say no to non-Superflex puppies. I will probably just dabble a little bit in a bunch of the puppies, mostly for content reasons. Like the fast puppy, I'll probably do for content mostly and not worry about the rest of them. Yeah, they had a pug, a Superflex, and a Palm, I believe, or a Golden. They had a Superflex Golden, I'm almost positive. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about the way Superflex ended up, and I believe we will get more of them for sure. I know over on Drafter Pass, I'm only at like a 51% for Superflex, and I mean it makes sense. Like, I don't think a 50 max Palm. That's right. Because I got to like 47 of the Palm is what it was. I didn't max it because I ran out of time. They Trey McBride before Brock Bowers. Yeah, 50 max palm. It was pretty nice. I'm assuming Nick will take Lad here. He does. Um, this being a new contest, so I've actually moved Rashi Rice way up in all of my time box contests. In time box contest, I have Rashi Rice rated at 16, 17 now. So for the Chihuahua, I will probably end up with a ton of Rashi. I think that being cognitive of the fact that nobody else has him in round 3 or 4 in this contest, and nobody probably will get that. That's an edge. And if you like the player, you should be taking more. Kind of like J.K. Dobbins. Like, if you like J.K. Dobbins right now at his price, it's an even better price in this contest that opened up today and is probably going to be closed by Thursday. Hey, what's up, Meg? Yep, I was on Fanspeak Network earlier. We did a BBM. It was an awesome draft. Things kind of fell into place. There wasn't a whole lot of chaos. It definitely went a little better than when Meg and Steve were together the night before. They definitely went a little smoother than that. We drafted really good teams. I really enjoyed the stream for sure. And if you are not, go over to Fanspeak Network, sub to that. If you like my content, give that a watch, and then give them the sub. It was all like, it ended up being where do we draft from? We drafted from the 6 hole, and it ended up being like we got Jaden Daniels back in the 4th round, and it all fell together really well. We decided like I kind of went over the Rashi Rice thing there. Like, I like him at pick 19, but not in a contest like BBM that's been open that long. All right, so right now we have Bijan, Rashi Rice, and Chase Brown. With these 2 RBs, I will probably push RB pretty deep after this. So we will see how that plays out. Nick, the normal high T drafter, starting off with Terry, Ladd, and CD Lamb. Wish you luck, sir. Yeah, that's what it was. Penix fell 20 spots. We just went ahead. We had Devontae Adams and Stafford. We went ahead and just took Penix and backstacked them with Ray McLeod. It was a pretty fun team. Yeah, that's why I said good luck, because Daniels never falls back anymore. Like, absolute. On drafters today, I was at pick 35. Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels, and Josh Allen were all available. I took Terry. This guy took both quarterbacks. He took Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. Like, why was he just mad he didn't get to do the Terry Jaden thing? Like, is that like, I don't know. I mean, I obviously still drafted well, but it was kind of like, I just cannot land that. I couldn't land it in pre-draft. I can't really land it now. We'll go ahead and take JMO, get some Spike Week volume in here. I mean, if for some reason Hampton makes it back, I will take him. I'll take Hampton in the 5th round almost every single time. I didn't want one here. Heck yeah, good board. What's up, Josie Wales? First time I'm seeing you in here. Are you in the draft? Let me know. And welcome to the Who Crew. America. We're here celebrating the 4th of July by doing Bestball, which should be something everybody does. Like, I think everyone should be involved. Are we really going to give me old Hampton back? This guy doesn't. Sweat EV does not want Hampton. I know he doesn't. I can feel it. He does want Hampton. We will. I don't take a lot of Travis Hunter. We'll go ahead and take Calvin Ridley. Everybody there was the same bye weeks as the people I had. So, all right. So back to this. Not just checking in. I've seen you on Big Draft Energy streams a lot. Hey, well, welcome over here. I do some drafters content. It's not as often. I prefer Underdog. I just like the different contest styles that they have. But yeah, we welcome you here, and there are a ton of content creators in here. Like I said earlier, we got FanSpeak here, Meg. I was just on her channel, on their channel, 3 hours ago, and we drafted the Bestball Mania. It was pretty awesome. And if you like my content, you should go ahead and head over there and watch that later. Rice shouldn't be anywhere near the top third or fourth round. Peppertoni, with the target competition he should go in the 8th. Where do you think Jamar Chase should go, Thad? You don't know balls, says Peppertoni. Shots fired. We are in here. The fireworks are going off. We're about to see a throwdown. The chat's been drinking. Things are about to get wild. He's a very small fall off from Neighbors Lad BTJ. Yeah, and he, as I said earlier, he on the FanSpeak network, he pretty much took the Kelsey role for the red zone stuff. He is absolutely the number one target to Mahomes when healthy. If we believe that the offense is going to be improved, like, we might as well just be all in. I think, yeah, I wasn't on the stream. Yeah, I didn't call it out. Actually, some of the Who crew called it out because he was looking at it more like a Javier or something. So it was I was just laughing. I thought it was pretty hilarious. It's a two-headed monster in Cincy, and I will never confuse Rice with Chase. I mean, we're not really comparing Rice and Chase. We're comparing Rice and T. Higgins. But like I said, Chase, because like we don't expect Kansas City to have the offense that Cincinnati has, but even if it's like within 10% of what Cincinnati is, their leading receiver being here makes a lot of sense to be drafting. I will absolutely welcome Chris Godwin here. So through 6 rounds, we have Bijan Robinson, Chase Brown, wide receivers, Rashee Rice, Jameson Williams, Calvin Ridley, and Chris Godwin. Godwin, to me, is one of the best values on the board, assuming he is healthy. Yeah, and Nick here has 6 straight receivers. He's got CD, Ladd, Terry, Devonta, Pickens, Debo. Somebody is super invested in a certain thing happening, and I won't be the one to ruin your fun. I promise. I think anybody in this room, anybody watching, sees this. Yeah, so earlier I was doing a draft on Drafters, and this guy got sniped twice in a row from the same guy for no reason. And I was at the 2-hole, and I built out the Viking stack. And I knew that this other guy had been sniping everything because he'd done it 2 drafts right in a row before that. And whenever he was in the one hole, he had Chase Higgins, Chase Brown. I go, good luck. And the guy took Burrow at 42, like just at 42 in the fourth round before he even got back. And I said good luck as soon as he took Chase Brown. And then he did the same thing trying to push another player, and that same guy took him. So, Drafters has the chat room. So I said, time to snipe me now. And I actually pushed Burrow around the corner, or not Burrow, J.J. McCarthy. I was like, here's your chance to get revenge. And he's like, man, I really wanted to. He didn't do it. I was like, I'll give you a chance to get revenge on that guy by sniping me. I'm super glad to see Sam Laporta being drafted in an area he deserves to be drafted. Like, this is right about where he should go. But I just want Steph Diggs here. I want the extra out at quarterback. I don't have an elite yet. We're awesome at running back. We got Rashee Rice, J-Mo, Calvin Ridley, Godwin, and Diggs. Turn off your cap. Rice running the routes. He runs, and Hollywood and Worthy running the routes. They run. I mean, we'll check back in at the end of the year, Thad. As long as Rice stays healthy, he's an absolute smash pick. That is how I look at it. Just an absolute smash. That's the only button. I'm pretty sure his keyboard has, like, it's broke. And I'm pretty sure it got broke with caps on. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. He probably smashed his keyboard when he auto-drafted Rashee Rice. And then the caps lock is never recovered. That's my assumption. Is that here was in a draft. He autoed Rashee Rice. He smashed his keyboard, and now his cap lock is forever broken. Go ahead and weigh in. Is that correct? Am I close? Is that what happened? I hope that's what happened. That would be fantastic. No. Hey, look, my keyboard is fine, and well, thank you. Look at that. I figured out how to turn off his caps. Hey, welcome, Mark. And will forever be blocked. Hey, welcome, Tyler. Thank you for popping in. I'm pretty excited for the new contest, for sure. All right, so hopefully, I need to change my ranking on Cam Scattaboo. He's falling continually back to his big board price, which is in the 110s. So I still have him rated at 199 or something. I absolutely need to make sure I change his rankings. I think that this area is pretty gross, though, overall. I definitely want one of these three players, though. Yeah, we'll take Hawk. I wanted Hawk or Mason. Number one, because I think there's some of the best values there. And number two, because it gives me a Week 17 possible game as well. And I think that Hawkinson is a very good value where he goes. Silly takes make me scream. Yeah, I just think that everybody got bailed out that was out on Rashee Rice last year with the injury. And it was very apparent that they did. And most people said that we're fading Rashee Rice do say they got lucky because that happened. So makes sense. You have to scream listening to your own thoughts. How close? Not very close. I have – let me find it real quick. I have Kelsey at 107, and I have Hawkinson at like 90-ish. So it's not really that close at all. All right. Do I want to take Jalen Warren here? Do I want to take... Yeah, we'll take Jalen Warren. We didn't get Mahomes to come back. The worthy drafter knew that I was going to take him. I'm perfectly fine taking Warren there and then just getting two quarterbacks over here. Hopefully Drake May's available. Man, fireworks in the Who Crew chat today. I like it. Low fireball, 15. Let's see what Steve's doing. He got Genty, Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Lamar, Kamara, Harvey, Downs, and Mooney. That's a solid team. Nick Bach, he stopped pissing at 6. DeAndre Swift, Jordan Mason, Najee Harris. Jordan Mason is to me, the perfect 0 RB, number 2 or 3 running back. If you start 6 wide receivers and you get one of these like Quinshawn, Swift, Pacheco, Pollard, Aaron Jones, and then you get Jordan Mason, ETN, or Warren, it feels really good. Billy Bean 76 here just took Garendo at pick 103. So I'm going to look over their team real quick. We got Derrick Henry at 7. We got Trey McBride at 18. We got Josh Allen at 31. Cortland Sutton at 42. Juwan Jennings. He's drafting like he got a fall in every round. But he's drafting from round 0. Brian Robinson. Baker Mayfield. And then this one is just way off of the rankings. Obviously, I know how to use cap locks. I've got more than you'll ever know. Somebody's fired up. Yeah, he's definitely somewhere with a beverage in hand, enjoying his time. You better take Dak now. Green Bean, Law, William, Montgomery. He takes Dak like he should. I get Drake May back. This room's being reasonably nice. I'll take J.J. McCarthy or Jared Goff with my next pick. I feel really good about this. Got a 1-3-5-1 is where we ended. Feels really good. Even if I didn't get Drake May, I would have taken J.J. McCarthy there, and then because there's a better chance that I actually get Goff back. So hopefully I get one of those 2 players. That's it, FK. All right, so the only quarterbacks that are kind of at value for that guy. Uh-oh, you just pressed the button. This seems like... All right, so question is, which one do I want to be locked into? I'll take McCarthy. I don't get to I don't love Jared Goff this year. As you see, I have 1.4%. I don't mind J.J. McCarthy. I like Ty Felton more than I like Isaac Tesla. So if I want to add a second weapon, I prefer the backstack option of Minnesota. So that was my tiebreak for that situation. Yeah, the 1-3-5-1 starts just feel so good. They really do. So we are through 11 picks. We have Drake May. Let me refresh this so it pops up correctly with the best ball overlay. We got Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Bijan Robinson, Chase Brown, Jalen Warren, Rashee Rice, J-Mo, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, Steph Diggs stacked up with Drake May, and then TJ Hawkinson stacked up with JJ McCarthy. A very solid team. I'd probably go 3 quarterbacks here and 2. If I get another tight end fairly soon, I'll probably stop at 2 tight ends. So something I was talking about with the like the pit bull and stuff, with the 1 of 9, 1 of 6, since it's not like 1 of 13, 1 of 16, I think 2 tight end builds are a lot more viable in these. Because your tight ends are going to score the least points overall, and it's a lot more likely to get through a week with 2 tight ends with this setup, in my opinion. And you basically just trying to get the one guy who spikes in week 17 through, right? So, yes, it is still an extra option in week 17, but I think it allows you a way better advance rate to sacrifice that spot to try to push through the playoffs in the smaller structure, like the smaller advance, like the 1 of 9, the 1 of 5, 1 of 6, especially. All right, so Jonnu Smith is still here if anybody's interested. Anybody interested in Jonnu? Come on, Nick. Jonnu's available. All right, so do I want my boy Rashad? I think I take Rashad here as a team stack bet. It also, like, I really like that game in week 17. So give me a team stack with Chris Godwin. And he has projectable volume along with Jalen Warren. And then I have those 2 guys. I could probably just add a single running back at the end, like a Jarquez Hunter or a Taj Brooks, a DJ Giddens, somebody like that. And I will apologize. I don't know. I think I take Michael Penix if he comes back around to stack up with Bijan and call that good. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Sorry to the Drake London drafter, wherever you are. Old Ben Bees. All right. It is a little frothy in this chat. I like it. It for you or me, it could be. But I think I'm very solid everywhere. You know what? We're just going to take Cedric Tillman, actually. Last second, move up Cedric Tillman, get a little more firepower at wide receiver. I mean, I could stop at 2. I could also stop at 2 tight ends. It may be a 3-5-7-3. I don't know. I feel very good about every position right now. So I'm kind of just going to take best player available for the most part the rest of this draft. All right, so for the vote, the better contest, 20 votes, 3 of you voted for Superflex. We got 9 of you voted for the Dachshund, 9, and then 8 of you voted for the Chihuahua. We are ending the poll, and we hit the goal for a second draft. So next draft will be the choices will be a drafter's $3, a weekly winners, another Chihuahua, which I will probably not spell correctly since I'm not looking at the word. or an eliminator. New poll is up. Choose your own destiny. Goff went 156 in your corgi. Pretty sick about that. Did you get him? Jared Goff randomly, just absolutely falls. And it makes sense because, he offers zero running ability. And a lot of the time, the Almond drafter ends up with an elite quarterback. Oh, man. But yeah, a lot of the time, the Almond drafter ends up with an elite quarterback. And if they've taken a second one by then because they stacked up Baker or something as well, because they also had Mike Evans, if you have Lamar and Baker, it's really hard to also take Jared Goff, right? So, that situation happens reasonably often. And when that happens, you see absolute, 20, 30 pick drops on that player. All right, so we're probably – I know I was talking earlier about going only 2 tight ends. I think we'll go 3 here for a specific reason. We can go – all right, we will take Gesicki here. Another team stack bet with Chase Brown. So we got a team stack with Chase Brown and Gesicki. We have another one with Godwin and Rachaad White. We have the Minnesota bring back all lined up. We still need a bring back for the Jets, maybe. I might just be fine not having a bring back for that game. It's definitely not going to be Josh Reynolds. I'll tell you that. I'll take Alan Lazard before I take Josh Reynolds. Call me crazy. So, but yeah, Braylon Allen kind of fits. That would actually be a good bring back on the Drake May and kind of fit what I want to do. I kind of want a rookie wide receiver, though. I think Noel will be my pick if he's available. And I know you're new here. Man, there's been so much chat. I can't find the name. Josie. I know you're new here, but I openly talk about what I'm going to do. If somebody wants to snipe me, I honestly don't. I don't care. I don't let myself get upset about it. Everybody has access to all the players. I would rather talk through what I'm doing. And every once in a while, I won't say anything. And Jarquez Hunter, this is where he should be going. I pulled him up to the 170s, or I had Meg do that on the Fanspeak Network earlier. Granted, I did it because I had Stafford, because I believe this is a stack. And I believe that Jarquez Hunter will be in there quite a bit because of past game explosives. And Matt Stafford, if you're going to take him here, like Nick just did, he got the major game stack there. He's caught up at receiver or at running back decently now. Got Bryce Young, who's fine naked. He's not the best naked, but he did have 5 rushing touchdowns in the last 6 or 7 games last year. I would totally be willing to take Jarquez Hunter around Tyler Algier. I think he's fine at pass protection. I can't remember exactly. Steve probably remembers. I know that when they drafted him, they specifically said they wanted him. When talking about drafting him, they said they wanted to add explosives out of the backfield. And and he profiles as somebody who also is good at receiving. So I don't know how good it'll be. Like, he might not get like the 3rd and 12s and stuff, but like I think he'll actually carve out a role for sure. And he's a big enough body to do the pass protection. Like, even if he wasn't good at it, he does have the body style to be able to do it. All right, so I know we were talking about it earlier, and I think I'm fine with just these 2 quarterbacks. I don't love it, but we will take Mason Taylor here. That'll be the bring back. I love Mason Taylor as a prospect. And yeah, I know Kyron is really good in pass pro, which is one reason why he's on the field all the time. Yeah, that's what I thought. But Steve is also bullish on Hunter and Nick Bach as well, who, by the way, if you don't, Nick Bachledge here, he has a YouTube channel as well. It is Winning the Flex, I believe is the name of it. Head on over there, sub to him. He is the reason I know I reached out to Bigelow, or actually Bigelow reached out to me to come over here to show off the drafter pass thing. Overflow draft done. You needed me on an edge. That room absolutely flew. So yeah, here I want any rookie running back. I'm fine with Sampson. I'm fine with Brashard. I prefer Brashard because I have the team stack with Rasheed. Don't want Taj Brooks. I know that says 2.7%, but I was at like 17% in Superflex or something. Because whenever I decided I was going to take a lot of them, that's when Superflex was available. So we got one more pick. I don't know what route we'll go. I mean, if Anthony Richardson's available, I'll tack him on just because. But I like this team so far. I think I have plenty of firepower at wide receiver. This is more than enough at tight end. I probably didn't need Mason Taylor, but I don't mind it. It's mainly a bring back. Like, I think that could have easily been another quarterback if I would have taken, like, instead of Gesicki here, if I would have just taken Darnold or Rodgers or something. But I don't like where all the quarterbacks went. I think they all went a little like where I was drafting. I don't like taking any of them based on that positioning. And this is probably on the weaker end of 2 quarterbacks for me, but I don't hate it. When Taj is free, it's an easy click for me. Him and Brashard falling to around 18 is instant click unless I have 5 running backs. I've actually been forcing 6 running back builds a lot. Doing things like this, like if I didn't have Bijan, let's say Bijan was like Joe Mixon, I'd be adding a 6 to this. But with Bijan, I'm not going to. But I've been doing a lot of like 2 decent guys and then like a guy like Jalen Warren, Rashad White, Ramondre, Brian Robinson as like a glue guy, and then several just spreading my bets with rookies or upside shots late. That's the strategy I've been using. Give myself a floor in the middle somewhere, like a Najee. Like I don't like the Najee click at all, but like a Najee, something like that. To try to get my guys to the end of the season. I had a really bad advance rate last year, partially because I didn't layer my teams correctly. And that is my number one focus this year, is making sure I layer my teams. We're just taking one of these. Question is, do I want the A-Rich upside or do I want the Tyler Shuck. I think I'll take the Anthony Richards upside. It can be good enough if these RBs and more, so that wide receiver group is killing it. I enjoy round 18 bets. We know the fella is good and the opportunity is there. Right. Hey, thank you, Steve. We will be doing another draft, and it looks like Eliminator is winning at the moment. What is your favorite position to start through 6 rounds? 2, 4, 3, 3 through 6 have been opening with the best builds. And thank you for stopping in, Blake, and I hope you enjoy the content. Hey, thank you, Steve. I've already shouted out their network. That is the Fanspeak network. So back to this. Man, it really depends on like what my first round pick was, like where I'm at in the draft. If I am, let's say I'm at pick 8, I tend to like the receiver Breece Hall. And if I don't get Breece Hall there, I just go elite quarterback. Like, so receiver, and then if I can get Breece, I'll take it. And if an elite comes back, I usually just take the elite. It feels like a lot of sniping's going on anymore. So the safety of an elite quarterback just makes the whole draft go well. So, but I kind of like making sure I get through 6. I don't know, but like I think going 1, 3, 5, 1 out of 10 is the absolute best way to do it, and the data shows that. If you know Billy, who works with Fantasy Dog Pound, he put out a chart a while back, and 1, 3, 5, 1 through 10 was like well above in the advance rates for all the structures. But through 6 rounds, I like to definitely have 3, probably 4 receivers, 1 running back, and 1 non-running back. So either a tight end or a quarterback, 4 receivers, and a running back is kind of where I think the sweet spot is. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do like this. Like this felt really good. Bijan Rasheed, who should be a second-round pick, maybe even an earlier second-round pick than he is, in case anybody is listening. Chase Brown, Jameson Williams, Calvin Ridley, and Godwin, like that feels really strong. Like I can pivot anywhere from this, right? So we'll go through the team real quick. 3-5-7-3, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, and I don't know if A. Rich or Tyler Shuck was the right call there. I went for the home run swing and Anthony Richardson. Like, I think he's more likely, like he's a lot more likely to be playing in the fantasy playoffs than he is during the regular season. And if I can get him to the fantasy playoffs and he does start then, like that is something I definitely want. And I think these two are fringe of being good enough to be 2 quarterbacks. And then we got running backs, Bijan, Chase Brown, Jalen Warren, Rashad White, Brashard Smith. Very solid. Wide receivers, Rashee Rice, Jameson Williams, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, Steph Diggs, Cedric Tillman, Jalen Noel, and tight ends, Hawk, Gesicki, Mason Taylor. Back to chat. I hate the A-Rich click in a vacuum, but I love that A-Rich click in a time box. Yes. Yeah. That's kind of – and, like, he's probably not going to be 100% drafted. Yeah, he's not going to be 100% drafted in this, right? Like, I've been experimenting with studs and duds, 1-1-1-1. Yeah, if the 1-1-1-1 builds feel awesome if the room allows you to come back at wide receiver. If the room is a piss boy room and you start a 1-1-1-1, they do usually feel really bad. But if you're allowed to take like the next 2 or 3 picks be wide receivers and it ends a 1-1-3-1, those feel really good. I think you win so little ceiling. Right. I think A-Rich is an okay lotto ticket. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I was on the borderline for it. Yeah, absolutely. Rice is going to make or break a lot of people the rest of the way. Yeah, and like I said, like for Best Ball Mania, I'm probably out on Rashid Rice at his current price. Also, if you were in the chat and you would like me to go over your team, type something in the chat. I will give you a review if you would like. If I don't get anything in the next 20 seconds, I will queue up for. We are neck and neck. Eliminator and Chihuahua are together. What are some of Davis's takes this year that you don't agree with? Well, pre-draft it was Isaiah Bond. But I think that's settled. All right. Go ahead and type in chat what your last pick was. We got a 2-6-7-2. Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert. Then we got Bucky, James Cook, Caleb Johnson, Charbonnet, Rico Dowdle, Nick Chubb. So you got the bring back with Nick Chubb late, 10 picks to pass. I don't like the Nick Chubb pick at all, but as a bring back and your sixth running back, it's perfectly fine. Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison got the bring back and the stack. Jalen Waddle, Ricky P, Trey Harris, Jalen McMillan, Tyler Lockett, Jonnu, Ferg, and another stack. Tyler Conklin. Yeah, I like it. Some player, like, I don't love the player take there, but it makes sense what you did. That's a situation even I would be like, maybe this is where I get a share of them. So it absolutely makes sense. The only thing, and I think Lockett is a very good fit for this specific team as well, because Trey Harris probably starts off late. Jalen McMillan, if somebody gets hurt and he actually has a role, he's a very good pick, but it's a very contingent pick as well. And Lockett might help you get to where these two players matter a lot better. So, yeah, I like the way that you've layered this team. It makes a lot of sense. All right, chat. We got 25 people watching. We have 16 votes on the thing. We're doing a Chihuahua or an Eliminator next. You might get to decide what draft we do next. Hit the vote, and we will jump in as soon as somebody breaks the tie. If I have to break the tie, it is going to be Eliminator, because Eliminator every single time is like right at the cusp and never gets picked. And I was talking about that earlier. It looks like Eliminator will win. 10 more likes, and we will get to a third draft. So, Eliminator, it is. We got the vote. I will be entering Eliminator when I find it. We'll be entering a 20-second elim. Oh, we're getting more votes, huh? It's tied again. And we could do, if we get to 32 likes, it's still tied. I'll still do the Eliminator. We'll do a Chihuahua as the third draft, assuming we get to 32 likes. We're entering the Eliminator in 10 seconds. It is the 20-second Eliminator. 20-second Eliminator. Then hopefully it doesn't kick me out here. We are waiting for 20-second Eliminator. The Chihuahua pulled ahead at the end. We'll do the Chihuahua for the third draft. I'm sure we'll get there. We're at 25 likes now. We just need 7 more over the next 35. This will probably take about 40 minutes. So this is a 20-second Eliminator. Welcome, everybody. And for those of you who do not know, if you join my Discord, I have this sheet free, and I actually updated it. So this is the first 6 weeks of the NFL season. This was the Mike Clay projections directly after the that came out very early after the NFL draft, and what he rated the defenses. I have it color coordinated, who play like the team, and then what team they play against all the way through the first several weeks. I use this chart to figure out what I want in Eliminator, and then I updated. I was doing this for weekly winners all the way through. Yesterday, I fixed it. I got them in 6-week blocks. So if you want to try to target a week, you can look here. And by the way, the colors look a lot better on Mozilla. So looking at this on Mozilla is way better. They're much brighter. I should just make a non-colored version of this. But basically for weekly winners, like yesterday I did a team and I targeted week 3 because I took CMC and I got CMC and McBride. And then I built around this. Yeah, Firefox is way better in my opinion, but StreamYard works better with Chrome. So I stream in Chrome. We're waiting on two people, 20-second eliminator. Yeah, so, and I'll bring up the team that I ended up doing. We got a weekly winners. So it was this team right here. So we got a solo Lamar. Let me make sure I don't miss whenever this fills. So we had a solo Lamar, and then we went CMC, Swift, Jones, Dobbins, Sanders, Roschon. And then just a ton of wide receivers. And basically I targeted the games over here. So like, and this is just what I'm doing. So like I got the Lamar, so I took Jamison Williams ahead of ADP, right? So to get that bring back, I targeted this game, and then I basically just went into like I'll go look and see who plays Cincinnati and who plays Carolina every time, and I will attack the running backs on those teams. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's probably not right, but it makes it fun for me. We are waiting on one. Do you see Royals being fantasy relevant? I feel like he's a sleeping giant. I have not taken him a single time. I'm still upset that we drafted him. I personally didn't like Royals as a prospect at all. Like I hated his prospect profile. I hear people saying that they loved, like he's like Rashee Rice. I absolutely do not see that. I don't see that at all. I don't see that profile at all. I see him more like a Sky Moore or a McCall Hardman, and those players never worked in the. Andy Reid can't get those players to work. I don't think Andy Reid coaches those style of players well. Now, if he is the Rashee Rice prototype, which other people believe, I don't believe, then he's probably an okay pick. I just don't see that. I think that he is more of the McCall Hardman or Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney profile, and we have had awful luck with those kind of players. Andy Reid will make them successful at times, but not as a whole. So I hate it. I absolutely hated that we took him. I haven't taken a single share of him now. I was like only 4% in big board. On top of that, so like I feel like I'm big on Pacheco now, but I didn't like him going into the draft because we had 3 top 66 picks. I figured in this class we would have taken somebody there, or at least in the 4th round. And instead, we took a player who I already didn't like in Jalen Royals. I didn't like his – and then not only is it a player I don't like, it's a player that I don't think Andy Reid has been successful coaching as a young player. So I need to move Genty. I don't – why? Oh, okay, this is because it's Eliminator rankings. I do have my own rankings in here. We can remove all of this. We will take Genty. I overvalue RBs in this format. So we got Mark Cox in the 1 hole. We got Coolers in the 2. I got the 8. Mr. Mufasa, TD in the 10. And if you were, is Blaker, is that you? Blaker 5894, Mr. Harrison? Yeah, I am not in on Royals. I do. It is to the point that it's like maybe I need to add a share or two at the very end of drafts. I just don't see it. The only way it works is if we have more than one injury. Like Kelsey has to be absolute and utter dust, and we need one of the other receivers to get hurt for him to even get on the field. And then if it was Hollywood that got hurt, he's still got to compete against Worthy and Rice. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Say goodbye to week 8. We got Genty. We got Brian Thomas. So that's how I see it. I think his path to playing is very bad. I also didn't love him as a prospect. I seen him as a better prospect for like a multiple year. Like, he might be really good next year. I don't like, everybody liked him because all of his film was just him catching screen passes and then running past people in Division II. Like, we seen that last year in a player that I fell for in Dylan Laube, and it absolutely didn't work out. He was way faster than people in Division II. That's what Jalen Royals looked like to me. I do know that Royals was like, he at least looked good at the Senior Bowl, so that's positive for him. But it wasn't enough. Keep that bad juju off Hollywood. No, I was in on Hollywood last year, and I think that it was actually like, I think Hollywood and Rice last year were both and Worthy were all really good bets. And I think if all three of them were healthy, all three would have worked out. Would you have taken A-Chain if he fell to you? Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. In this contest, for sure. Like, number one, RBs are king to me in this. Like, especially with a week 12 and a week 8 bye, you can just leave just those 2 running backs and then just go like 6 wide receivers in a row. And number 2, they were different bye weeks, and I ended up on same bye weeks. But yeah, I absolutely would have taken double RB there for sure. Like, I think Achane should be like, he should for sure be going ahead of Jonathan Taylor in this contest now, for sure. We have 26 likes. The next goal is 32. At 32, we will do another Chihuahua. And thank you for the happy 4th blessing. I appreciate it. So I do really like Jaden Daniels in this. I think elite quarterback is a big edge. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do a Breece Hall here. Breece Hall has a pretty reasonable early schedule, I think. So the Jets, week 1, they play Pittsburgh, which is bad. But then you get Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, Dallas. Like, that's a really good 4-game stretch. And then Denver, which is also bad. And then we got Genty, who actually has a pretty rough schedule as well, or rough week 1. So both of my running backs have a rougher week 1. If you consider New England a rough week 1. I think that was right. Yeah, they play New England week 1, but they both have really, really strong week 2, 3, and 4. So I like that quite a bit. Running backs are king no matter what. Yeah, we got what's up, Jamie? Hey, thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry, I've looked for your channel multiple times, and I just never asked because I felt stupid about it. Because I knew you did content, and I'd seen it in Disco stuff, and I just never found the link. So I think I like Mike Evans here. Week 1, Tampa Bay plays. They play Atlanta. I knew that they had a really good Week 1 schedule. BTJ's been falling to 17 in like a bunch of formats. By the way, JJ, this is an eliminator, so the ADP is different in this if you're not familiar with it. Running backs get pushed up a little. Elite quarterback gets pushed up a little. Some people believe elite tight end should. Other people don't. I'm mixed on it. So I'm actually very in on Trey McBride. So if you go to this chart, this is the schedule. Arizona gets New Orleans, Carolina, San Francisco, Seattle, Tennessee, Indianapolis. That is New Orleans, Carolina, San Francisco in your first 3 weeks. I believe that those three, like James Conner, Trey McBride, and Marvin Harrison, are absolute smash picks in this contest. I fully believe that they are some of the best picks you can make. Is there any current late round rookie buzz that? I mean, the Brashard Smith going to make the team stuff makes absolute sense. I am not in on the Dante Thornton buzz. Like I've been over this previously. It's never a shock when the fast guys outperform the slow guys when there's no contact in shorts. Like Dante Thornton was always going to look better in the rookie mini camp with no pads on, with nobody touching him, than Jack Besh. Like that was always going to be a thing. Yeah, I found it earlier. But yeah, anybody who is not, here's another person putting out content. Go give them a follow. We need the community to grow as a whole. And IDP is some wild stuff. I did IDP for a long time, and I'm out of it. And I'm not saying it's like I'm happy I'm out of it, but I'm a little happy I'm out of it. But yeah, I used to be able to name like the third cornerback on every single team and give you an estimate on their stats. We had it was just a 5-man league with people locally. It was a rotisserie league. But we had 252-man rosters that was IDP. It was IDP plus regular. So we had 1,500. It was 13. I think it was 1,300 players total in our league. And like we started 12 at every IDP position, 12 D-line, 12 secondary, and 12 linebackers. And we started 12 wide receivers, 8 running backs, and 6. No, we decided 5 quarterbacks, and it was wild. And I'm kind of glad that that's over. Like it was fun, but it was a lot. Just for the meme, we're going to take Chris Olave. That way we have bye weeks in weeks 8, 9, 10, and 11. We got to complete the cycle. Whenever you can complete the cycle, complete the cycle. Do you listen to any Restrepo buzz? I think he will make I was very in on Restrepo pre-draft, and I personally don't believe his 40 was really bad, but he was also supposedly hurt. But with that being said, he supposedly got hurt while he ran it, and he also chose to not run it at the combine, so it feels a little weird. Let's look at what we'll get to this in a second. But so the way Restrepo wins is he wins with quickness out of his breaks, like with sudden feet movement. He was never beating people like downfield. Like best case scenario, like for a full PPR site, he could be fine. Unless he wins in the red zone, he'll never be a big yards guy. It'll be one of those people that if he works out, he'll be like a 60 reception, 600-yard guy with like 4 touchdowns. So like there is a chance, but like he'll be like a Hunter Renfro at like best case scenario. But I do buy that there's hype with him because I mean he played with Cam Ward in college. So he obviously should have synergy with him. And maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I have a ton of Restrepo in pre-draft because we didn't hear about that 40 time until like 90% of the contest was drafted. So Mr. Mufasa, Derrick Henry, Amon, Jaden, Kittle, Ridley, Jennings, that's a very balanced start. And for Eliminator, that has to feel really good. We got 2 of my favorite. Man, I love both of these clicks. But, you know, I think I'm going to go ahead and take Sam Laporta here. I'm fine with this. Like, get a pretty solid tight end for Eliminator. Like, have some projectable volume there. I do definitely prefer Diggs or Ricky Pearsall in a like. If I didn't already have the 4 wide receivers, I would definitely have taken them. But this is kind of a little bit of a fall there. Like, why am I only 5%, or why do I have 5%? Like, are you asking if why I'm low on them, or are you asking why would I waste any percent on them? Who's the number 1 player that you're fading and the community isn't? All right, so first we'll get to this. So Brian Robinson, it's mostly just because I have every other running back there rated slightly above him. I'm Isaiah Pacheco over him. I believe that Eckler is a much bigger threat to B-Rob than anything going on in Kansas City is to Mahomes. So I'll generally take, like, I mix them in. Yeah, we'll take Darnell Mooney. But number 2, I generally like I've been taking like a lot of these middle round running backs, and a lot of the time I just prefer the receivers in this area. I feel like there's a giant tier break at receiver at Matthew Golden here, or Darnell Mooney. Like, it depends on who's there. Like Josh Downs, Diggs, Pearsall, Golden, Mooney. Like that, wherever you break that tier, I don't put Brandon Ayuk in that anymore, especially in Eliminator. In Eliminator, Brandon Ayuk should be like a 15th round pick. So, and I think the difference between those guys and like Pittman, Cooper Kupp, Rashad Bateman, Keon Coleman, like I think those players are fine, and Jaden Higgins and Trey Harris. I think there's a big gap there. I think the difference between Brian Robinson, Jordan Mason, Tracy, Jalen Warren, and Scadaboo is a lot less. Like, I'm actually kind of high on Scadaboo. I still think he should be going at like pick 99, but now I can get him for free at 100 or at like 105, 106. So that's my reasoning on it. It's more about that he is ranked right about where the wide receiver value falls off. So I tend to not click him as often because I tend to want the wide receivers in that range over the running backs. That is why. And whatever I would rather have Caleb Johnson, the rookie upside, Quinshon Judkins, and Pacheco generally over him. Speaking of the devil, we're just going to go ahead and we'll take Cam Scattaboo. We will not, I think naked quarterback's perfectly fine here. I think Drake May's an awesome pick for this contest. I also think Cam Scattaboo is underrated. So with this chart that I was showing earlier, and part of the reason I took Scattaboo is because I know this by heart. New York Giants, Week 1, Washington. Week 2, Dallas. Then a possibly rough game, but KC's interior defense will be weaker. And then the Chargers, and then the Saints. That is, as long as Tracy and Scattaboo, one of them is going to be a very good pick for Eliminator. So I'm kind of spreading my bets between the two of them. I prefer Scattaboo, but I am sprinkling in Tyrone Tracy. Okay, so the one player I'm fading in the community isn't. We can look at my exposures here in a minute. Yeah, we'll take Caleb Williams here. Stacking doesn't matter that much in this contest. We'll just take a guy. So let's look at running backs. So number one, Javonte Williams is one. I almost refuse to take him. My Jaden Blue's up a little bit. Some of the earlier picks. Oh, so Saquon. Saquon Barkley is the one I'm fading pretty hard. I have him ranked at 7. I've got I will just force myself to take a share or two of them, but I have him ranked at 7 myself for a couple reasons. Number one, he doesn't really catch passes. Number two, he had 490 some touches last year. Number 3, Madden cover. Number 4, Will Shipley should have a role carved out in the receiving game, most likely this year. They used Gainwell a little bit last year, and Will Shipley is a better prospect and should offer more. And number 5, he barely outscored Jahmyr Gibbs, and he had 2,000 yards. So, excuse me. So, all of those reasons combined, I just see it extremely unlikely that number 7, he smashed as a second-round pick last year, and if he was a first-round pick, he still would have smashed, but it wouldn't have been as ridiculous as it was. And I think him having to do the exact same thing he did last year, plus and he's going against the first-round talents instead of the second-round talents, to me makes him a pretty easy fade. I don't love this. I don't love this at all. We'll take Trevor Lawrence, get the BTJ stack. I'm not saying that stacking is irrelevant in this, but it's not required. It just happened to fall there. So I'm still trying to find that's the player I'm fading that a lot of people are not. And the big one right now that I've been behind on the entire time has been moving up the board, and I just don't think I just don't like the whole situation, and that's DK Metcalf. Everybody's so in on DK Metcalf, and they're pulling him up to the middle of the 4th. I still barely want him at the 4-5 turn. Yes, Aaron Rodgers has created things before, but this is an Arthur Smith offense. If Aaron Rodgers goes in and gets his way and makes it an Aaron Rodgers offense, that's fine too. But it's going to be a slow-paced offense. They have 2 solid running backs. They have Arthur Smith. They're going to be running 2 tight ends the entire season. I don't buy it. I don't buy anything about it. I don't love that pick. I think we just take Hollywood here. Yeah, we're just going to take Hollywood Brown. We know Hollywood Brown's going to have a role early in the season. We don't have a Chief on this team. That gives us access to them. Just check my exposure. I'm fading. I have like 1.4%. Oh, I'm at 2.1. Like basically what happens is if he's there at like if he makes it all the way to pick 5 or 6, I like in my head flip a coin, and sometimes I'll take him, but usually not. I'm like, I can talk myself into it right now, kind of thing. You explained it well. He smashed expectations last year, partly because of his cost, and now he has to do that and pay off a year with an average of 400. And the Madden cover. Don't forget the Madden cover. Like, yes, it's not 100% success rate, but I'm trying to make up for taking Rasheed last draft. Am I doing good? Am I in your good graces yet? Does Hollywood make up for taking Rasheed or not? And like, so I have noticed in the drafters community, Saquon is actually falling to the 7 hole over and over again. And in drafters specifically, he should definitely not be a top 6 pick. In full PPR, I don't buy him. Like, I think he should be at like 8 or 9. I actually have Puka. I have Puka ahead of Saquon. And then I have Neighbors and Saquon like equal. The 34% Thielen feels like a number that an insurance adjuster would take. It goes really well with my 17% Bryce Young. So there's a bunch of reasons I have the 24% Thielen. Number one, I take it a lot on teams where I took early rookies like Travis Hunter. Like I use it. I don't love that. I think we just take Tillman and then we're done at wide receiver. Okay, okay. All right, I'm glad you're talking to me again. You hadn't said anything. I don't think you'd said anything for a long time. Like, okay, no, you did. You said something up here. I remember that. The RBs are king, no matter what. Yeah, so like I take Thielen a lot of the time. Number one, I think Bryce Young is one of the most underrated, like undervalued players in fantasy right now for the season. So, and I like Thielen more than Leggett this year. So that's why I'm there. And number two, it allows me to get into let me see what I'm doing here. You know what? Roshan feels good. We're going to go Roshan. So it helps me whenever I take like if I take like Jamison Williams and Xavier Worthy, who I'm over on Xavier Worthy, I'm over on JMO a little bit. Like I tend to take the spike week guys up here a little bit more. And like a Matthew Golden, I'm very overweight on the Golden. Like Ricky Pearsall, Mooney. Thielen is a good player to layer in your team if you've taken those players early. Like adding more spike week guys like Cedric Tillman or a Quentin Johnston, like, and I prefer him to Romeo Doubs. So like adding him in whenever I have a lot more volatility at the top end makes sense. So I layer it a lot. I take him a lot to try to backstack Bryce Young with him. So yeah, okay, there we go. So there's two parts to this. Number one, in the big board, I'm actually 0.7% tank, and we'll just go this. Travis Etienne, 2.1%, only because PPR Tyler forced me to take him the other day. Tootin, 15%, and then tank. That tells you where I'm at. We get Bretton Strange back around. That's double by week 8, though. We'll take Gesicki. So I went over this a bunch. So I'm actually tank over ETN for that backfield, but I was tank over ETN in the big board before they drafted 2 people. And I view Tank more as a Bucky style player, but Bucky had 46 receptions last year, and Tank has had 8 in 2 years. So, like, I think as a runner, he was the guy, and I liked him more in big board than ETN. Now, I don't like him at all because they took 2 running backs. Both of them have some receiving ability. LaQuint Allen was the best pass blocking running back coming out of this class. So I think that, like, I'm out on both of them. They got a new coaching staff coming in. They drafted 2 guys at that position. Like, I just don't. And I already invested, I think I was like 11.5%, 12% Tank Bigsby in pre-draft. So I'm basically hedging against that some. I know it's a new time box and all that, but, like, I don't, like, unless a trade happens or he gets cut and signed somewhere, like, the best case scenario, hell yeah, Miles Sanders week 1. But best case scenario for Tank's big. By the way, we need one more like. We get one more like. That's the 32 likes that I wanted to do the 3rd draft. And we will be doing a Chihuahua like I promised, since it was dead even. And as I queued up, Chihuahua pumped into first place. So just the way I see it, like, and it is very possible that, like, Tank ends up getting traded to Dallas, and then everybody who's taking Tank absolutely, like, is right. But all of the running backs here, and all the way, Nick Chubb is another one. I took my very first Nick Chubb share the other day, and it's not listed because I haven't updated my exposures, and that was because my guest wanted Nick Chubb, so I took Nick Chubb. I have no problem making stands, and some of them are going to be wrong. I have 17% Joe Mixon. I have 0% Nick Chubb. That's what I'm doing there. Somebody's right, somebody's wrong. And the walking boot stuff didn't really scare me. And maybe it should. Like, I'm not saying that I am right. JT Bestball, also another good follow and a nice segue. Next Monday, JT Bestball will be on the Who Hames Network with the Who crew. We will be celebrating. We will be drafting. I don't know what we'll be drafting yet. We'll work that out. Hell yeah, we want some Jarquez Hunter. Yeah, we want Hunter there. And then with our last pick, we want Russell Wilson. That's what we want. We want Russell Wilson. We want Tyler Shuck. We want Joe Flacco. We just want a 3rd quarterback. We don't love our quarterback room. And I am absolutely buying the best dip. I've been in on them. I take best in the 140s if I happen to need a wide receiver at the time. A lot of the time at the 140 range, I'm looking for quarterback 2 or 3, or I'm looking for my tight end 2 to finish up. But if if construction-wise I'm at a spot where I can afford a wide receiver, he is the target there for me. I am not. I still think Trey Tucker is going to be a better prospect or a better this year player than Dante Thornton. That's where I'm at with it. Who knows? Who knows? Somebody's wrong. That might be this guy. All right, so we are about to make our last pick in this eliminator. It's an ugly one. It's Russell Wilson with the stack of Cam Scadaboo. An eliminator team, we got a 3-6-7-2. We got Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Russell Wilson. Running backs, Ashton Genty, Breece Hall. Very strong two, kind of pushed the other ones. We got Cam Scadaboo and Hunter for upside, and then Roshan and Miles Sanders to try to get us through the season. We got Brian Thomas, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Olave, Mooney, an apology letter to Thad and Hollywood Brown, and Cedric Tillman. And then we got tight ends, Sam Laporta and Mike Gesicki. I think it's a pretty solid team. Maybe you all think I'm a fish. Maybe that's why you want to do eliminators with me. Maybe I suck. I don't know. Mufasa was talking about his team. We will read through his team whenever this draft is over. And if you want to review, put your name in the chat. I'll go through your team. I'm having a good time today. I'm glad everybody's out here. I'm having a great time. We have 37 people watching on X or Twitter right now. I appreciate all of you. If you would like to see the chat, come on over to the YouTube side. Smash that sub for me. I'm on a goal of 253 subs. For those of you who do not know what my sub goal is yet, at 253, PPR Tyler is going to come on, and he is going to guide me, probably very poorly. And I'm going to do, I know this has sort of been done before by David Kitchen, but I'm going to do a blindfold draft. I believe when he did his blindfold draft, they just told him the round, and he tried to remember what he was drafting and try to give them players that were still on the board. I'm going to try to man the controls blindfolded with somebody else telling me which direction to move. And considering you have to be almost dead on this, it probably is going to end up as an auto draft. And I'm going to set positional rankings for it. And maybe for the bit, we could turn off positional limits. I'm up for whatever. So now I believe it's over. We will go through Mr. Mufasa's team. 2583, Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young, Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson, Ramondre, J.K. Dobbins, Kyle Manungai. We got wide receivers, Amon-Ra, Cedric Tillman, Calvin Ridley, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall. Got to love that Niners offense. Xavier Legette, Romeo Doubs, Diami Brown, Dontavian Wicks, Kittle, Warren, and Jatavian Sanders. I was very close to taking Warren the pick before you. How many drafts have I done today? Degen will never tell. No, I've done what have I done? I done 3 drafters, $3 minis. I done 6. I've done 6. This will be 7. All right, Mark in the one hole once. Also, you're in the one hole. Type what your last pick was. We got a 2-6 something probably a 2-6-7-3. Patrick Mahomes, Justin Fields, Joe Mixon, James Conner, Quinshon Judkins. Oh, Shuck. I love that in Eliminator. Just an extra dart at quarterback. So Joe Mixon, James Conner, Judkins, that's a very solid group, alternating buys. And then some contingent guys and Davis, Rashad White, and Jalen Wright. Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, Garrett Wilson, Kyle Williams, Pat Bryant, Keenan Allen. I am very worried about this. I think you should have. So I think Jalen Wright needs to be a wide receiver and probably also Shuck, maybe, or Mason Taylor. Like, I think one of these tight ends needed to be a wide receiver, or one of these running backs, or maybe both. Yes, you might be able to get through because you have to start three. So if one of these three guys have a bad week, you're relying on a rookie or for Keenan Allen to sign for your third points for the week. I do think that that's just a little weak at wide receiver. And for Eliminator, whenever it goes to head, you get the least amount of points out of tight end overall. So I think, like, if you have to sacrifice a position, I believe that position should end up being tight end. If you're a little weak somewhere, I think that you should try to force it to be tight end. And maybe I'm wrong with that, but that's the way I'm going to play it. But yeah, all right. So we are about ready. I hope maybe two tight ends would have been better for the extra wide. Yeah, I think that's where the only difference I would have done. Like, and probably take instead of Jalen Wright or one of those three, like, because you had three really strong running backs to start. Like, one of those being anybody, like a Christian Kirk, or like even Jack, like maybe not Jack Best, but a non-rookie like a Hollywood Brown or somebody like that, like somebody who's has a role week one as your fourth wide receiver, and then rookies after that's probably fine. All right, so luckily I've actually been able to click that here. I'm bringing it up on my phone as well in case it decides to give me the location error. But we're going to do a Chihuahua, and we are entering a 20-second Chihuahua in 10 seconds. But yeah, if you're over on X, coming on over to the YouTube side, giving me that sub, allowing me to destroy a team on Underdog, it'd be a good time. It'll be fun for you. It'll be fun for me. It'll probably be an absolute pain for PPR Tyler trying to direct me. We'll see how that works out. So we got the 107. We got Sladen in the 101. We got J Lives in the 3. We got Rain City Bastard. Who's Rain City in the chat? I know that they are in the Dynasty League I joined. I don't know which name you are in the chat. And by the way, welcome. Maybe they're not even in here. And then Mr. Mufasa in the 11 hole. I like this name here. Pufferfish. Fantastic name. Yeah, you've always picked at the back end of my drafts. So, yeah, I actually have full access to all of my exposures now. So another player I'm kind of fading is Derrick Henry. And the Derrick Henry fade is more I want to be overweight the players around him more than I like the fade of him. So I do take some Derrick Henry. I want a lot of Ladd. I want a lot of HN. I want a lot of Drake London. I want more of those than Derrick Henry for sure. I kind of want, like, I'm basically staying at the field with Bowers. And for those who are just joining, this is a Chihuahua. This will be the second Chihuahua that we're doing today. If you guys want, we could put a ludicrous goal up there. So why is that only 10.3%? Oh, we're going to take – I do have Puka above Neighbors. I need to do something real quick. These actually aren't my ranking or my exposures, I don't think. Okay, they are. Okay, they are. Got it. Because I entered in my best ball overlay earlier, I entered my pre-draft rankings or my pre-draft stuff to look through because I was going to send Maddox the worst team I drafted, which is it was negative 340 CLV. It's a shipper, let me tell you. We can go look at best ball overlay after this if you guys want to see the worst team I drafted pre-draft. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, so we'll do the thing. This contest, we'll do the Bowers Neighbors thing. I know it's duped all the time, but you still have to get your team, the rest of your team, to the finals. This is a 212, 17 seat final with a 1 of 9, 1 of 6. I really like the idea of in the one or less than 1 of 10 advance rates to go 2 tight ends to get your with an elite to get yourself to the final dance. Why would you want the RB1 when you get the wide receiver one and Greg Roman's pass offense? Right? I'm very into Ladd. I do think that I think that they're going to be a very balanced team. And I think that they're going to be like a top 7. I think they'll finish like 7th or something in points. I think the Rams finished top, like right about 5th in points this year. I think that they're undervalued. I think the Panthers finish fringe like 12-ish. Like I don't think they're going to be an elite offense, but they are not very valuable at all in this, right? Like in these contests because I think he's quarterback 24 or something like that. So yeah, the outlandish goal at 40, we got to 50 likes a couple streams ago for the first time. If we can get to 46 likes, we're at 34. If we get to 46, I will do a 3rd or a 4th draft. You guys sign me up? Come on, Dad. Is that D-Daddy? D-Daddy. I think that's how. I think that's what that is. I think that's kind of humorous. If that's, I don't know if that's how the guy pretends or wants it to be announced or pronounced, but D-Daddy is hilarious if that's what he wanted or they wanted. All right, so all the elites go. I feel like as August comes closer, we're going to see these quarterbacks come up in the front. Chargers offense will be better than the Rams. I could see it. Ladd went from Gus, QJ to Harris, Hampton, Najee. Yeah. And offenses that score more points are usually better to like if they're running. I'm not worried about the target volume, honestly. So in pre-draft, and I might be wrong here because I've done this math and I'm remembering this off of the top of my head from literally I did this in March. But so Ladd over the after his bye week, he had a bye week of 5 last year, I remember. Do we want Worthy? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Worthy here. Okay, so he averaged half a touch, like over the last, I think it was 10 weeks, and this is removing the 197 yards that he had in the playoff game. Like, this is removing that completely. Because I didn't think it was fair to add that in. So I didn't. He averaged, it was like 88.5 yards a game, 6.5 receptions, and half a touchdown after his bye week. So if you take those stats and you multiply it out for a whole season, so 88.5, I believe, was the number, times 17. That's 1,504 yards. That's 8 touchdowns, and it was 6.5 receptions, if I remember right, times 17. That's 110 receptions. Like, yes, he might see less volume. He might not get to 110 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He might not do that. But that was his pace last year. And that's removing the 190-yard game he had in the playoffs, I believe. So, and if somebody wants to fact check that, like I said, I've done that literally like 3.5 months ago, and I'm trying to remember those numbers off the top of my head. Maybe it was 86 yards a game. Hey, welcome, Meat Gazer. Welcome back. And welcome, Big Boy. Glad you could join us. First time to the channel. Everybody say hi to Big Boy over here. But like, I'm very bullish on Ladd McConkey this year, because he doesn't, like, even if he gets less volume, that is insane. That is just insane numbers. Zay Flowers is a player that I've been very low on since the big board, and the entire time I've said he needs to go in the middle of the 4th or in the middle of the 5th. Like, I still think that this is a couple picks too high for him. I like all those running backs over him, in all honesty. But generally, you'll get one of those running backs to come back to you here. And being at 3%, Zay, like, I don't want to completely fade him, because if he figures out how to break zone coverage, like for deep runs this year, because for some reason he just couldn't break through last year or the year before, like if he can figure that out, he will be a smash. So I don't want to be like really, really low on him, but I absolutely prefer Bateman in that offense at cost to Zay Flowers. They both had I believe they were both at 13.1% red zone target share. I will look that up real quick. I know they were the same. So we will go to that page after this. We might not get one of these running backs back. I mean, if Travion makes it back, that is perfect. That's actually a week 17 running back as well. So that would be fantastic. If not, I think Godwin's one of the best values on the board. Do I want Addison, though? We'll go Godwin. I don't take a lot of Zay Flowers, so making sure I get players that I like, since I don't take him a lot, like I can just pick my highest exposed players, because that will make this team unique to my portfolio. All right, so over on Player Profiler, they offer free stats. Red zone target share, this is Zay Flowers' profile. He had a 25% target share, 0.7 target share for the season. He had a 13.1 target share in the red zone. And then Bateman had, where is it? I scrolled down too far. He had a 16% target share, basically, with a 13.1% in the red zone. So, and then you look up Andrews, and it's like, this is how I usually play their offense. 15.3%, which is about the same as Bateman overall, but 24.6 in the red zone. And I believe likely is also over 13%. So he had a 23.6% target share in the red zone. So Lamar loves his tight ends. That is one reason I'm way lower on Zay Flowers. And if I'm going to have that 13.1% target share, even though he's a better player than Bateman, I'm going to take the 5 or 6 round discount I get on Bateman. Like, he only had like 150 more yards than Bateman, and Bateman actually had more touchdowns last year. That could absolutely flip, but I think the odds say to just take Bateman most of the time over Flowers. Yeah. We could go in on the Chiefs offense here. I think we go in on the Chiefs offense. Yeah, let's do that. I do my best. I make some good points, and I make some bad points. And if I'm making a bad point, call me out. I may still be too stubborn to listen, but I'll talk about it. I will be stubborn at times. I promise. I'm having a very hard time talking myself into Deebo Samuel, and who's on the thumbnail, by the way. But I'm like 11% Jaden Daniels. I'm very in on their offense as well. Why only point? That is a fantastic question. So, in a related story, I've taken Laporta 4 times out of the 7 drafts I've done today. So do I can take Godwin, so Baker makes it back around quite often. I don't know why this is resetting. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take Mahomes. We got a double stack, Pacheco and Worthy. So this has been since Big Board. Sam Laporta started this offseason going at pick 60. That is where he was. And at that point, TJ Hawkinson was going where Laporta is here. To me, Laporta and Hawkinson are very similar. And I would rather have all of these wide, I just thought that all of this tier is slightly more important than tight end. So number one, the tight ends late are all values. Number two, wide receiver and running back both dry up by round 9. And number 3, I'm actually kind of out on the Lions offense as a whole, to be fair, especially with the center retiring. Kevin Zeitler's a huge loss. They lost Frank Ragnow, who was one of the best centers in the league. That's probably bullish for Jahmyr Gibbs, and it might be bullish for Laporta, but Jared Goff isn't great at moving in the pocket, and interior pressure is the absolute worst for for pocket passers. Because if he doesn't have the ability to skate out of the pocket, then that interior pressure, which they lost I think it's right guard and center. So if they're getting pressure up the middle, Jared Goff isn't going to have near the time to throw, and that is bad for the entire offense. So I'm kind of fading them as a whole, but I've just said Laporta needed to fall to about the 80s and be 7 or 8 picks. Absolutely take Baker. This was the dream that Baker came back around. So, right. So that's why, and Laporta, at no point should he have been going up here next to Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, Travion Henderson. He shouldn't have been ahead of Tony Pollard ever, or Pearsall, or Golden. But now that he's fallen, I love Sam Laporta at pick 77 to 90, which is where he just randomly, for no reason, started falling to that area. And that's kind of where I thought he needed to go the whole time. So I'm going to click him a bunch if he's going to start going in that area to help my, like, I had almost zero of him in the big board as well. I think I was like 1%. I'm going to look it up real quick on another screen. I had 2.3% Sam Laporta in pre-draft. All right, so do I want to stack up Mahomes here? Do I want to get – I kind of like Trey Harris. I kind of like the fall on Trey Harris the most. I've already got double KC here. We got Bowers. I like the Trey Harris pick there. Rookie upside. I think it fits really well with this. Welcome, Big Draft Energy. Are you going live in a few minutes? Curious. I assume you are. What are my thoughts on the Bears receivers? I'm scared of all of them. I am. So I didn't like. I thought Luther Burden was an overrated prospect. Like, I don't think he's a bad prospect, but I thought he was an overrated prospect overall. I think where he goes now is perfectly fine. Like, but the only reason he goes there is because of the injury stuff. I thought it was kind of weird that Ben Johnson came out saying stuff about effort, and then he drafts a player who had questions on effort in college. That to me, like, nobody talks about the fact that Luther Burden had those character concerns coming out of college. People only talk that DJ Moore had effort issues last year, and he's the bad guy. So I've never understood that. It drives me nuts. But I think it's pretty clear that, and PPR Tyler said this, and it definitely makes sense, is that Rome is the only X receiver they have. Rome is going to be the one that is on the field. Like, he's like DJ Moore plays the same style of game as Luther Burden. I don't think you necessarily want Luther Burden and DJ Moore on the same team, but I think Rome is the safest bet. I think Njoku is a fantastic buy right now. Or not Njoku. I said Njoku. Colston Loveland is a dude. I would have absolutely taken Kelsey at 127. But yeah, I'm in on Rome. After this pick, I hope to get Tajay. Absolutely taking Tajay here. I was talking about they lost Kevin Zeitler. Well, Kevin Zeitler, who is one of the better run blocking guards in the league, he's actually on the Titans now. So I'm actually a little bullish on both of the Titans. So as you see, I'm a little overweight on Rome, around the field on DJ Moore, a little low on pretty much the whole passing offense. So part of that is I wasn't a big believer in Caleb Williams coming out of college either. Like, it wasn't that I thought he was a bad prospect, but and I not even that. Like, I thought that there were three quarterbacks in last year's class I liked more than him going into the draft, but that's probably because I was just a hater more than anything else. And I will admit it. I can definitely be a hater. Hey, on real time, do you have any suggestions on who I should pick? Any suggestions from the chat on who I should pick? There we go. We took Hollywood Brown again. I take Rashee Rice as my number one owned wide receiver. He's 26% because I was at 37% when he was in the third round. I just took him every time, and I'm just laying off now. And I'm going to end up with a lot more a lot more of him, like in these time box contests. On Trey Benson, I hold on a second. The one thing I said about Caleb is assault. Absolutely, this is a well. So I will get to this in a minute. My knock on him, and I've said this a couple times, is he led the FCS or the FBS in fumbles, right? Over his 3 years that he was quarterback at USC. And part of that was because he just ran around like an idiot with the ball way out like this all the time. And he also never looked like he was engaged in a game. Like, yes, he was very talented, but he never looked like he had heart. So, number one, defensive ends in the NFL are absolutely, like, I believe that there's no way, unless he completely focused on ball security, that he wouldn't just be a Tony Banks with the ball. So that was one thing. And that's like exactly why, like, Justin Fields turning bad situations into worse situations is why Justin Fields isn't on the Bears anymore, partially. I mean, could this have fallen any better? So, and number two, the heart thing. Like, in college, you can just be better than everybody because you have talent. But to me, he never really showed the heart. And there is no chance, if you don't absolutely love the game of football, that you're going to be out there winning against Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, even Jalen Hurts. Like, Jalen Hurts doesn't like you can tell he loves the game, right? I seen questions on that last year from Caleb, like even through the season. And this take lost me a like, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, and so we will get to Trey Benson since that was asked first. I think he's a fantastic contingent play. I'm a believer in James Conner this year. They signed James Conner midseason last year to a 2-year extension. So he's through this year and next year. So they absolutely love James Conner. I just don't see it going any other way. I think it requires an injury, which is very possible. That is very, very possible. Don't get me wrong. ADP. I don't love this at all. We will resort to old tricks. We'll just take Thielen. And then if Bryce Young comes back around, we'll snag him too. There's a player, like, I didn't want Jonnu Smith as my only other tight end. I couldn't take Brenton Strange because that's a 0. And I didn't want to pull up the next group. So I'm fine with Gesicki, Ertz, K. Dotton, any of those. And if Jonnu makes it back around, I'm also fine with him there. But back to Trey Benson. I just I don't see it. I just don't see it with, like, unless James Conner is hurt. And he could absolutely carve out some kind of a role. Like, I do think that he could carve out a role. For sure. I just don't see him being like a bell cow without an injury. I wasn't big on Trey Benson as a prospect either. So there's a little bit of that as well. Hey, welcome, Fantasy Football Garage. Thanks for stopping in. What if Caleb was watching the stream? I honestly hope that's the case. If that was the case, it might have been like Caleb's like I don't know, like a cousin or something, super upset. I mean, that would be fantastic for my stream because then I'm sure it would get clipped and it'd get sent to him, and then be like, "Look at this hater," and I'll be like, "Yep, hater right here, got it." And you know what? That's nice. Yeah, I'm like all in on Bowers for this, right? Like, and I don't necessarily like Thielen was kind of a panic pick, honestly, but it kind of fits with this because Chris Godwin may be hurt to start the season. Trey Harris probably won't have a role at the beginning of the season. So it's a pretty good pick there. Pat Fryermuth. Zach Ertz was the one I wanted. But I also didn't realize Kate Otton's down there. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Zach Ertz. I don't know if I really helped with the thoughts on Trey Benson. I think he's 100% contingent play. Arizona is an offense that it's going to be fine. And Luther Burden, I went over him just a little bit ago. I think he and DJ Moore kind of play the same kind of role. And so another thing on Luther Burden in my eyes is Quinshon Judkins and Travion went so Quinshon went early, and then Travion went the pick right before the Bears. I believe that they panic picked on Luther Burden because if I remember right, they bled the clock down, and then they had pick 39 and 41, and then they traded out of 41. I believe that they only took Burden because he was there was nobody there they really wanted, and they couldn't make a trade. That's how I feel that situation worked out. Just by watching the draft and seeing the reactions and stuff like that, that's the feeling I personally got out of that. And I'm probably wrong there because that was just it's what it felt like. But other people have said the same thing when I've mentioned that. I also, earlier, there was a ask on Aronde Gadsden. There we go. I will have a couple shares, but they will probably come after after camp. What's your take on the number 2 for LA Chargers, Mason from Fantasy Flock? I've been saying this for a while. The Trey Harris pick does not affect Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston did not play in 3 wide receiver sets. Trey Harris is not going to profile as that guy. He is going to replace Mike Williams. He is the Mike Williams replacement or the Josh Palmer replacement. Josh Palmer did not QJ is just not going to be in 2 wide receiver sets. So the same exact stuff is going to happen. QJ had all those, everybody said fluky touchdowns because the run game was decent and Ladd just created space for everyone, right? So they improved on offense a lot. You think Quentin Johnston's not going to have just more wide open space in 3 wide receiver sets? I think he will. I was pretty bullish on QJ pre-draft. I'm not where Flock is. I don't get to him near as much as I want to, but I think he's an awesome pick. The problem with Quentin Johnston for me right now is that I'm just going to take Jack Besh over him every time. Unless I'm building the Houston or unless I'm building in that game, right? Pick 200 here. Dylan Sampson is a player I definitely want to get more of. We'll go ahead and take him. So we're done at wide receiver. Probably probably, I mean, if Brashard Smith makes it back around, I'll take him. If not, we'll take Taj Brooks. And if they're both gone, we will take – we don't have anybody to stack here. Mr. Mufasa is going to take both of my guys. We are 6 short right now of another. No, we're like, yeah, I think I said 47 or I don't know. I said 40 some. We're not even close right now. So 44 likes. I can't remember what I said. So it'll be 44 now. We probably won't get there. This right here could be my Damian Martinez team. It's not going to be. I'm taking 1 share of Damian Martinez in every contest. I will do that. I'm going to continue to do that. I still believe, and maybe I'm absolutely crazy, I still believe talent-wise that Damian Martinez is better than RJ Harvey. Talent, I'm going to say it, it's out there. I still believe talent-wise because Martinez fell because of character concerns. I still believe that. And there's no way we'll find out this year unless there's a massive injury or something. But I still absolutely believe that. The Bears room felt like they were forced into best player event. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like watching the draft, it didn't even feel like they wanted it. Like the pick didn't make sense. It's all good, Mufasa. Like I don't care. Like you probably saved me because I did have Pacheco as well. But yeah, like just watching it. 4 more, by the way. 4 more likes, and I will do a 3rd or a 4th draft, and we can do whatever people want. But yeah, it just looked really bad, right? Just looked awful. Like the way that they were like kind of panicking around in my eyes. I don't think they wanted him at all. And it doesn't make sense because they took Colston Loveland first, right? I know it's a different position, but they spent 10 overall capital on it. And everybody's like, well, they spent the 39th overall pick on Luther Burden. But, like, if you read the situation, it didn't look like they were ecstatic about it. So that's my feeling on it. So we have a 2-7-7-2. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got Baker Mayfield. We got the Baker fallback. I do tend to like 3 quarterback rooms, but these drafts today have just kind of fell this way. Running backs, Breece Hall, Pacheco, Tajay Spears, Rashad White, Giddens, Sampson, Brooks. Got a very solid group up here, and then absolute shots here at the end. This is what I like to do, get 4 guys that are projectable to have some volume and then take a couple shots. Wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Trey Harris, Hollywood Brown, Adam Thielen, and then Bowers, Ertz. I will say instead of Brooks, I probably should have taken Jackson Dart. That's actually, I probably shouldn't have taken Brooks. I should have probably taken Dart. That's on me. All right, so it looks like that's going to be it. Tomorrow I will not be able to stream. On Sunday night, I think Sunday nights I'm going to start streaming at 6:45 p.m. Central every Sunday night. It's supposed to be Superflex on Sundays, but we don't have any Superflex left, so we'll have to do something different. I appreciate everybody for coming out. I had a great time. Actually, if anybody wants me to go over their team, I will go ahead and do that for you. But I need to shout out to Rain City here. I'll message him in that league and tell him he was in this draft. In case I didn't realize he did best ball. So, but yeah. Nobody said anything, but thanks, everybody. I will see you all. Oh, 11 hole. There we go. Mr. Mufasa, once again. Justin Fields, CJ Stroud. Like, that's good enough to stop at 2. Could use 3. These are the rooms. It's like 3 is perfectly fine and 2 is okay. That's kind of how mine was. 2 was okay. 3 is perfectly fine. And with the structure of the 1 of 9, 1 of 6, I kind of like the thinner rooms too. Kenneth Walker, Brian Robinson, Ramondre, Ray Davis, Dowdle, and Brashard Smith. And then you got Nico Collins, Drake London, Marvin Harrison, Tet. That is an amazing wide receiver room with Jennings and Mooney. I might not have even added Coker. Like, you got 6 absolute studs, and then you just added on Coker. I mean, you kind of had a free pick. Like, all of your rooms are fine. There wasn't really a quarterback to add on at the end that made sense for you. But you stacked onto your Carolina bet, which makes sense. And you have the Kenneth Walker bring back for that. So, and then just taking shots at tight ends with Dalton Kincaid, Hunter Henry, and Mason Taylor. My favorite stack with Justin Fields is Mason Taylor. No, that's a very solid team. Thank you for stopping in, Aaron Sandy. You are here, and we are about to leave. Yeah, and I did the same thing in the last round. I messed up there. But I'll be back Sunday night, 6:45, and I will then on Monday at my normal time, Monday at 4 p.m. Central, Monday through Thursday, I go live 4 p.m. Central time. And on Monday, JT Bestball will be here, and that will be a lot of fun. Take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the content and you are not subscribed, come on over, hit that sub for me. It'll help out a ton. Thank you guys. Thanks, everybody. Peace.